Good day to all, and thank you for joining my YouTube channel, Jam's Tranquility, here to bring you tranquility. Today, for our yoga session today, we are going to get into a little bit of Pilates yoga type workout. It'll be some yoga and a little bit of exercise along with it. Now, coming onto the mat, we are going to start in tabletop position, extending our right leg. When we Take your time getting there, but when you get there, go ahead and stretch that back leg by flexing your foot all the way out and then extending your foot. So you really want to stretch the soleus part and the gastrocnemius and your Achilles tendon, that calf muscle part of your legs. And you're going to stretch all the way up to your gluteus minimus. Okay? Now from that leg extension, you are simply going to take that leg you are just extending and cross it behind the folded leg. Once you crossed it behind, go ahead and take a good seat, and we're going to come to Sukhasana. Here in Sukhasana, we're going to take a couple deep breaths before we transition to the next leg. Coming back into tabletop position, we are going to take that opposing leg, which is the right leg, and cross it over that bending leg, sitting back forward into Sukhasana. All right, coming back onto all fours, we are going to take ourselves and peel it up into downward facing dog. From downward dog, we are going to walk all the way up to the mat, stepping one foot in front of the other and making our way to the top of the mat. Once we get there, we're going to halfway lift, come back down, from our halfway lift, we are going to rise up like a growing tree and float it all the way back down. Just taking a couple breaths in between every move that we get into. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Placing our hands onto the mat, we're going to step both feet back into plank pose. From plank pose, we are going to go down halfway, then up, down halfway, then up, down halfway, then up, down halfway. Last time, down halfway, then peeling your tail up into downward facing dog. Go ahead, take some deep breaths, pedal it out. Take your time to gather your. From downward facing dog, we are going to come to three-legged dog. In our three-legged dog, we are going to take our knee and touch both of our elbows, starting with the first one, your right leg, your right elbow, then twisting to touch your left elbow. We are going to repeat this. After you're about your third time, we are going to take that extended leg and come into a low lunge, really getting a stretch out of both legs. From our low lunge, we are going to place our hands on the mat and step it back into plank pose. We are going to chaturanga to baby cobra, lifting at the top part of your shoulders and keeping your elbows tucked into your sides. Breathing in between every move. From baby cobra, we come up into downward facing dog. Pedaling out, taking our breaths, and getting ready for this next set. In tabletop position, we come back up into downward facing dog. Extending that left leg or the opposing leg that we were just working with. And then once again, we are going to tap each elbow starting with the same side and then crossing over to the opposite side. Continuing this about. From our low lunge, we are going to place our hands back on the mat, rise on up, and then step that foot back into plank pose. Chaturanga up into upward facing dog, lowering the chin and really extending your spine. From upward facing dog, we're going to go straight into downward facing dog. Really position yourself and have a steady placement, because from downward facing dog, we are going to take our right hand and twist it over to our left leg. This is a downward dog twist. We're placing our head back into our place. We are going to take our left hand and twist it all the way over to our right. Really breathing into our twisted dog. From our twisted dog, we are going to come back into a upward facing dog, really extending ourselves. And from our upward facing dog, we are going to come back into our downward facing dog. Now this is going to be like a water wave kind of movement, coming up into upward dog, coming back into downward dog, and doing a slight roundabout. We're going to repeat this about 3 to 4 times. Really making sure that we are breathing in between each pose. We are going to lower our legs and come directly into child's pose. From child's pose, we're going to come into a comfortable seat and really get a chance to catch our breath and take some deep breaths and relax. Coming from our comfortable seat, we are going to lay all the way back on our back, lifting our feet 6 inches, and then bringing that right leg all the way up to our nose. Okay, this is a low body bicycle. So taking each leg and tapping our nose or our forehead. But take your time and get into a groove. Taking a couple of seconds, we are going to grasp and really get a lower back stretch. Holding your feet all together and then extending. Grasping us all together, your feet all together. And then extending. One last time. Grasping all together. And then coming all the way out and lowering everything. Placing the soles of our feet on the mat, we are going to drop our legs to one side for a supine twist. And deep breathe, 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 breathe. Taking your legs to the opposing side. With your back lowered and your legs twisted, you want to deep breathe. Bring our legs back into a neutral position. We are going to bring our arms to the side, scooting our shoulder blades together and lifting the tailbone for bridge pose. So from here, we're going to pulse up into bridge pose. Really working that back part, lower back movements. Now make sure your chin is lifted during this time, because even during this time we are working the spinal cord. Everything is being worked out, so every little position of how we move matters. We're going to pulse up 3 times and hold our bridge with our chin lifted and our arms pushed together. Repeating this twice. Extending our legs, we are going to take a moment to take some deep breaths. From our deep breath, we are going to roll over and come into a nice seat. So from here, we are going to lift our legs to a 90-degree angle, or if you're able to, go ahead and completely extend it. We're going to lower our legs and come back for modified V-ups. These V-ups are mainly just pulsing, lowering both halves, lowering your legs and your upper body, and then coming back, using every part to pulse up, up, up. From our pulse ups, we are going to hold our legs but not touch the ground. Holding this position and then repeating, extending both halves of the body, pulsing up, and then holding for 15 to 30 seconds. Taking some breaths right now, we are going to come all the way out and extend everything into a flat back, really extending and taking our time to take some breaths. From here, we are going to lift up our upper half, placing our hands behind our neck and having our elbow touch each knee. Bicycle pose. We are going to do this for about 30 seconds. From here, we'll grasp everything all together and then extending out long, flat back. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Rolling over onto our bellies, we're going to come down and then come all the way up into baby cobra. Really just trying to stretch out that stomach and our spinal cord from all that work that we just put on it. Breathing while we are in this position. Tucking in those elbows into our side. Lifting up those shoulders and then coming all the way back down. From here, we are going to come into tabletop position. From tabletop position, we are going to spread our legs as wide as our yoga mat and go ahead and have a great seat. Extended child's pose. Really take your time getting there. Adjust where needed. And breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. From our child's pose, we are going to come back up and meet in a great seat. Just taking our time to breathe from our regular workout. I would like to thank you all for joining me. This is day 3, Yoga for Beginners. Jams Tranquility, here to bring you tranquility. Thank you.